yesterday I saw the information that for the upcoming Dr. Joe retreat in Cancun, part of the hotel building has collapsed because of construction work. And somebody was asking about it in the group, if the retreat will still happen, how's it going, are there any developments for it? And that person was also asking 3D answers preferred. And I thought it's so funny and so true, because the comments underneath it, of course, were like, trust the process, don't obsess about it, let's not talk about it anymore, let's not put any attention to this issue.
I see it already repaired and everything is well, you know, some people are commenting this. Let's all meditate about having it all fixed and good.
Yeah, let's do changing boxes. And it's nice that we are this positive, but it's also very much alienating and pushing away the people who speak something out like this. And that's something that we have this trap in the spiritual communities, that we are not allowed to speak about anything that could be considered negative
or some mistake, you know, something
low energy, you know. It always has to be high vibes and trust the process and don't obsess about it. But it's so sad that we do this, because it's just pushing away part of the people that are in our community. And so many people are so scared of having negativity entering their aura and their field. But that's just not what spirituality is.
When I was on a retreat a year ago, I received my name tag, and because my last name is spelled differently, the ending of my last name was marked with question mark instead of letter. They could just put their letter and they put their question mark. So I went to some person who is responsible and said, hey, this is question mark here. Are you going to let me in the ballroom, or am I going to be okay with this? And that person didn't confirm to me, hey, you are going to be fine. It's going to be fine. And that person told me, it's the unknown, you know, it's, you have to trust. And I'm like, yeah, okay. But I have to know if I'm going to need to do my new name tag or something. And I don't need to still be boosting my trust and all these crazy things, you know.
Because they considered it immediately as like complaining or being negative. But you just had a question mark in your name. You wanted to maybe fix it, and it's absolutely valid.
No, I just wanted to know if they will allow me to...
Yeah, you wouldn't even mind, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly what we see so much in this community. And I have to be honest, I was for a very long time, when I started to be a little bit more spiritual and started to meditate and be into personal development, I walked around and told people, don't say hate. Don't hate.
Yeah, I remember sitting in a restaurant with Raphael. We are 1 year in relationship, and he was making me very, very mad because I said something like, I hate this, you know. Don't say hate. And don't express basically your darker side. But if you are aware of something about you, or if you are aware of you, you have to admit that you don't have only rainbows and unicorns in your brain and body and life, but there is also the darker side which moves us forward as well. But I'll let you finish.
Well, it's spirituality's union of both energies, and that's how this whole planet is created, light and dark, black and white. That's just how things are. And when we constantly try to reject anything that could be negative, that could be dark or low energy, then we're only going to attract these things more. And I think these people who make these comments, they're just afraid that it could ruin their vibes, but it's just something that is within them. I feel that the best way, like if we were really enlightened or if we were really wise, that we would just be calm, at peace. Wow, there was a building that collapsed. All right. Oh, here something beautiful is happening. All right.
We live in abundance all the time. In this, we don't have to fight for our food and shelters and so on. So it's gonna be fixed anyways, you know. And this is the approach which we could have, because we are supposed to be calm people, because we really don't appreciate what we have, of course. You know?
And it's absolutely valid that the person is asking about this building, hey, will the retreat happen or not? they just want to make their plans, and we don't have to put their this worry energy and that person will have to feel guilty afterwards for even asking these questions. She just wants to know, hey, how's it going? Will it be fixed? Do I need to adjust my plans? It's just a normal question. And last year, I also saw somebody was also sharing about the Cancun retreat, that she had a really horrible skin reaction when she was in her hotel room because there was mold, and she had a really hard time eating the food. It wasn't good to her, and she felt so bad for it. She was asking in the comment, is somebody else having this experience, or is it just me that I'm so negative? She was worried about it, and of course she got these comments. Oh no, the food is great. Oh yeah, we are in Mexico. It's normal that there's a little bit moist and stuff in the room, but it has never done anything to me. But that person is just going through something. We are a community, a spiritual community, and she just wants to have some support and some help, or maybe some tips. And if she would ask this same question in a non-spiritual community, I think she could have more support from them than us pseudo super spiritual people. And this is also something that we feel strongly about in this YouTube channel. It came mostly because of Petra. She taught me this in this years that we have been together, that we don't need to be too spiritual about everything. That we can just take it easy, and all right, here is a fact. All right, we are also in 3D. And what did you say before? That we are dealing with it more consciously or with more self-awareness, right?
I was in a retreat, meditation retreat, where people went every year for 10, 15 years, and they also traveled with that teacher into, I think, South America and so on. And there was this lady which went to 10 of those retreats or 15 of those retreats, and she felt like she is more than me or anybody else because she knows more than me. And I was a very beginner to these retreats, and I just didn't make a big deal about it. But I felt how her spiritual ego can be in her way so much that she basically introduced herself to me in that moment, and I knew that that person would be the last one I would be going for an advice or inspiration or anything, because that person has a huge ego problem. And if she would be boosting her ego on in an area of like some university environment, or if she would be dealing with it in a spiritual environment, it's still ego, and that ego can be very much in between ourselves and the real awareness of us and the way the stuff should be going and flowing in our life. Yeah, and one more was when I was with in a women's circles, 10 years ago. It was a thing to go to women's circles, and we were traveling really far, 3 women in a car together. There was like a lady over 60, and we just took her with us because we thought if she goes to the same place, it's great. And we kind of liked her with my friend, and my friend was driving, and we were having really big troubles on the way to get back from the retreat. And she was just constantly speaking how everything is amazing, how this is great, that is great, sun is amazing, grass is green, and how she is happy. But we were trying to solve a problem, and she was even speaking into our process of dealing with a real challenge, because we could have stayed stuck somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
No, just focus on the positive,
yes.
right?
So I really had to tell her something, even though she was much older than me, even though she tried to be positive. She was already aware enough, because she was wearing these necklaces from Buddhism and so on. These people, if they are very aware and very big masters of themselves and of their life, they would be quiet, and they would just be in tune with the flow.
Calmly also deal with the problem at hand, with a lot of like just peace and knowingness, like I'm gonna get through this. And it's usually those people that are afraid of negativity the most that are most full of it, right? And it's like not accepting the dark side and the negativity in us, and it's just a part of the spirituality as well.
Golden tip number 1. No matter how old that person is, no matter how many retreats or meditations that person did, you could be still feeling really nice with that person, and it means that that person really works on that, on himself or herself. Or when it makes you feel guilty, that person's reaction, or weird, or upset about you and your approach, you can question, hey, is this me, or is it that this person is too positive and maybe like trying to pretend and make it or fake it until they make it? Because that's what I started to do when I was like a few years ago quite confused about this fact, and it helped me very much. From that time I started with this, I know that some people could go to 10, 20, 500 retreats, and they would still make me feel like there is something not flowing in there. And you know that, you feel it, you are very much in tune with yourself as a being, as a human, and it's absolutely for everybody. You know, the ego can be stepping in everywhere, and that's why Dr. Joe Dispenza, for example, is stepping in a lot and plays with his ego and overcomes his ego a lot, because there is a lot to overcome, and he also shared it. Especially a few years ago, he was still sharing how hard it is to be overcoming this ego of his, because there were billionaires approaching him, you know, giving him private jets to fly with and stuff. And it is really hard to stay grounded and be interested in people. And
yeah, be like treating everybody equal, whether it's somebody that is attending his retreat or somebody that recognizes him in an airplane or a billionaire.
Yeah, especially I would maybe compare it to a very rich person who didn't work enough to be rich and goes to the store and grocery store and just doesn't even say hello to the lady on a cash desk, or doesn't say hello to the cleaning lady in a hotel cleaning your room, you know. And then there is a person, usually billionaires or millionaires, they make you feel like $1,000,000 because they know that this is what got them there, and actually people love to serve to these people, and it makes your day better. And this is about spiritual people too. If you meet truly somebody who is on their way, you will know that those people will inspire you. Maybe they will little bit kick your booty into the direction which you would like to improve about yourself, but they will never make you feel bad and never make you feel guilty, because these people don't communicate this way.
I just remember now that you say that, when I was having some problem during a retreat and I felt really shaken, I was going with that problem to one of the volunteers, and that volunteer turns out now to be one of our best friends, and he had zero reaction about me feeling that way. Like, he was just absolutely open-hearted, calm. Hey, come, we got this, I'll speak to somebody. Like, so nice and sincere. And I'm sure that many other people, they would be like, oh no, somebody has a problem, I don't want to have that energy on me. But he was just so centered in himself, and he was ready to be there for me in that moment. That's really, you can really feel it from people.
Yeah.
Sincerity. They're not afraid of this negativity or something like this.
And no matter what you're dealing in your life, and if you're scared to bother those spiritual people around you which are meditating and having it all solved and cleared out, and you think that you are the bad one because you are not having it, and you might feel that there is something which needs to be discussed or figured out, and you have no support somewhere, that's when you have to figure out for yourself that it's your center which needs to be basically like rooted, which needs to be harmonized, which needs to be absolutely taken care of. And you will have to understand that it's only you and your harmony which matters, and nobody will give you answers but you. So it's really, really amazing. And I have a friend who meditates, who does Dr. Joe work, and his name is, let's call him Lion. So, because I don't want to name him here, but he always gives me absolute honest answers about everything, everybody, on absolute point. And his answers are not emotional, sugar-coated, nothing, but they are not even bad. They are description of reality which you can perceive, stripped of all that curls and of that marshmallows and stuff. And it's sometimes sounding so funny, and I love that friend because he makes me laugh, because that's what I'm thinking, and he already solved it in himself, and he's so confident in himself, centered, that he just says, yes, this person I'm not approaching because I have this in there, and he just says it so well that he doesn't insult anybody, and he is just not making me feel bad or that person, but he's also a very abundant person.
And not being like superior to anything or anyone. So I think we can really conclude from this video that it is our harmony, the peace within us, that is going to allow us to really deal with any situation really centered, really calm. And nothing is going to trigger you, nothing is going to upset you, because you know you have the strength within you because you give it to yourself.
And you can train this ability maybe also on Instagram, or if you watch some people, those celebrities, and they make you feel certain way. For example, I look at Instagram and people who are making me feel weird or a certain way, I pay attention to it because it's a game, we play all the time here in this planet, and you can train it because you will say, okay, this person makes me feel like I am not good enough. And this person makes me feel like, oh, I don't have enough plastic surgeries. I have none, but you know what I mean? They motivate you to do something which is against you and your healthy assumption of things. And then you can say, just unfollow, and you can just live your happy life without this energy if you decide to leave this energy.
Because you see through it.
Yeah, you will start to see through this, and you can practice this ability that some people just, card readers as well. Card readers make you feel scared, and some card readers make you feel motivated and uplifted. So where are you going next? You go towards those which make you uplifted and which make you feel like you have it in your hands and you can change something about your life. Not as a card reader, which I was once too, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, this lady is playing with so much black magic. I had to kind of visit her because it wasn't my doing. It was a friend, bestie.
Organizing it.
Yeah, and I said, okay, I'll do that for something, and I'll never do it again, because you have to really do and open to people only which are very much nice and which know how to put these words towards you.
And I also don't think that this process of being calm within you is ever really finished, because Dr. Cho also says he has to overcome his ego every single day, because it would build up over time. And my friend also, he's also focused on being this person, the centered person, harmonized person all the time. Even Sadhguru, who doesn't really meditate, but every morning he takes like 90 seconds to just align all his energies. It's something that I think we have to do always, just like we drink or we eat to sustain our bodies. We also need to do something like this, and it's sometimes a little bit more challenging. But I think once we are there, we can also learn how to stay there longer. But we must know that it's always something that continues, that we always have to work on.
We really enjoy to be with you, and we love if you are inspired and if you can inspire through our videos. And don't ever forget that you are unlimited.
If you would like to share some more time with us, we also have this video here for you next.